What's up, everybody? A lot of y'all know me. My name's Seth Morales. I go by Explicit. I'm an upcoming rapper out of Chandler, Arizona. Actually, currently I'm living in Tempe. But I got this song called The Way That It Goes, and I wrote this song. Currently, we had a death of a friend. A lot of y'all might have known him. His name was Chris Lyon. And I want to dedicate this song to him. Now, I just wrote this, but I'm going to spit it for y'all right now. It's not the recorded version or nothing. It's just some live shit that I'm going to throw at you guys. Let me know what you think. Explicit. Tabula Rusa. We miss you, Kevin. We miss you, Chris. We miss you, Ryan. Check it out. Yo. He was a normal kid, said he had a sense of humor, but he had an evil growing inside him like a tumor. I never knew a guy quite like him. I would high-five him. We was best buds, he was my hype man. And I liked him, we was tight, but he could fight. And he liked striking despite who's right and throw rights and knock out lights. His mic was like lightning. He was like Mike Tyson, except he was a white one. But he fell in love with the drink and the drugs. And when he did both, he couldn't think and do much, except for fall further down and just sinking the stuff. He smoked black tar heroin till the brink of destruction. Done, yo, just like that, homie fell off the map, and we couldn't get him back. No gesture and no act could ever change the fact that he's gone, and that's that. He's trapped, he ain't coming back, and that's just the way that it goes. You gotta stand your ground, you gotta stay on your toes. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. And where your story ends, man, nobody knows. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. You gotta stand your ground, you gotta stay on your toes. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. And where your story ends, man, nobody knows. She never slipped, never fell out of line. Tell well about the time that she fell upon 19. When someone say she fell up out of mind, she went and yelled about it, cried, and kept us well at past 9. She developed bad signs, met a fella named Stein, and I'm pretty sure that that fella had crime written on him. Driven in on sin, he was thin, trim, and grim with a dividend chin. And then he persuaded her to take her clothes off to get paid so they can get a dose of what they need most of to continue such a close to home poster. Most of your fucking poster children caught up in the whirlwind. If that was your boy or your girl, then what would you tell them? Would you keep it real when you talked about what could kill them? You gotta be careful with what advice to instill, and that's just the way that it goes. You gotta stand your ground, you gotta stay on your toes. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. And where your story ends, man, nobody knows. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. You gotta stand your ground, you gotta stay on your toes. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. And where your story ends, man, nobody knows. It's just the way that it goes, you gotta stay on your toes. Cause everyone knows someone that sniffs some shit up they nose. Those little blue pills like glitter and gold. If you pitter and nose and you consider indulging, bring a straw and a drink. I think I left a little by the middle of the kitchen sink. Some little, some pink, some brittle, some stink. Some will sink they little cuticles in your deep, and they sink in, sneak them little fucking claws deep in beneath skin. Chew you up and spit you out like a 15-week-old wheat thin. Street grim, I don't know too many that done beat them. Talking about that Percocet, kill you boy, work your bet. Have you seen the circus yet? Everyone's addicted. If you busy, you ain't peeked behind the curtain yet. Try to quit your work and sweat. I'm an average Joe who knows a certain death, but that's just the way that it goes. You gotta stand your ground, you gotta stay on your toes. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. And where your story ends, man, nobody knows. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. You gotta stand your ground, you gotta stay on your toes. It's just the way that it goes, it's just the way that it goes. And when your story ends, man, nobody knows. Rest in peace, Chris Lyon. The song goes out to all my homeboys that got lost to drugs, and all your homeboys that got lost to drugs. Yo, we need to let everybody know this shit right here, this shit's not cool, man. Everybody needs to get off this shit. Stay clean, alright? This is Explicit Seth Morales telling you, it's the way that it goes.